Welcome back to our channel where we provide updates and undisclosed narratives on Catherine, Princess of Wales and her royal family. We provide you with the exciting news. 1 minute ago, Buckingham Palace confirms. Devastating update on Prince Louis. King Charles allegedly has a plan for Prince Louis to take over the title of Prince Andrew, Duke of York, according to a source who provides information from inside the kingdom. Everyone in the royal family has been taken aback by this idea, with many claiming that this title brings back such unpleasant memories and that Prince Louis is deserving of a more honorable royal title. A Portrait of a Prince. How Prince Louis handles a turbulent year for the royal family is the subject of this book. The public's attention has often been focused on Prince Louis of Wales, the youngest and most lively member of the British royal family, during a year that has been defined by significant health issues for the British royal family. While the tragic news of King Charles III and the Princess of Wales being diagnosed with cancer has dominated the headlines, a more subdued and optimistic narrative has emerged from behind the walls of the palace. This narrative speaks to the resiliency of the family, the significance of having a protected childhood, and the subtle ways in which the future of the monarchy is being shaped. Recent observations obtained from Prince William's public utterances and stories from people close to the Wales home create a poignant portrayal of a young prince navigating a difficult and emotional environment with a maturity and energy that belie his tender age. This information was gleaned from the conversations that Prince William has had in public. In contrast to what some sensationalist accounts have implied, this is not a narrative about tragic news. Rather, it is a deep look at how the Prince and Princess of Wales are leading their children through a moment of enormous emotional hardship while being subjected to the full scrutiny of the public. A look into the future of an institution that is undergoing a transformation is provided by the narrative of Prince Louis in the year 2024. This story is a testimonial to a contemporary parenting philosophy and a story about the power of a family. The crucible of the family. Getting through the storm at home. A time of uncertainty that had not been witnessed in recent memory was experienced by the House of Windsor during the first few months of the year 2024. The year started off with the news that Princess Catherine was going to have stomach surgery in January. Although the declaration was made with the intention of maintaining some degree of privacy, it ignited a firestorm of conjecture all over the world. As a result of her subsequent departure from public life, a vacuum was formed, which was then filled with widespread and sometimes vicious speculation on the internet. After just a few weeks had passed, Buckingham Palace revealed yet another shocking revelation. King Charles III had been diagnosed with a kind of cancer after a treatment for a benign prostate enlargement. A very personal test was presented to the Wales family as a result of the confluence of disasters. Prince William found himself in the difficult situation of providing assistance to his wife throughout her rehabilitation, caring for his 3 young children, and getting ready to take on more duties for the state in the absence of his father. It seemed as if the whole world had fallen upon their residence, which was located in Windsor and was called Adelaide Cottage. Within this crucible, the Prince and Princess of Wales' long-standing commitment to open and honest parenting was put to its most significant test. This was the most significant test that they had ever faced. As has always been the case, their major concern was to protect Prince George, who is 10 years old, Princess Charlotte, who is 9 years old, and Prince Louis, who is now 6 years old, from the stress and worry that the situation entailed. It has been reported by those who are close to the family that William and Catherine make a determined effort to ensure that their children continue to have a feeling of normalcy and security. A glimpse into their private lives was provided by Prince William at a public engagement, which was a rare and personal moment for the couple. He admitted that the past few months had been full of tough conversations, but he also mentioned that there had been moments of hope. He emphasized that the family makes an effort to be open about the things that bother or worry them. This seemingly insignificant statement carries a great deal of weight as it reveals a parenting philosophy that rejects the tradition of the previous royal generations to maintain a stiff upper lip in favor of emotional intelligence and transparency. When it came to Prince Louis, the youngest of the three, this strategy was very essential. Once a kid reaches the age of 6, their world is constructed on the foundation of regularity and the steady presence of their parents. An explanation of a severe disease needs a precise mix of honesty and reassurance in order to be effective. According to those with knowledge of the situation, the Prince and Princess of Wales provided a straightforward and kind explanation of Catherine's condition. They communicated to their children that Mummy wasn't feeling well and needed to rest so that the doctors could help her get better. The message was unambiguous and consistent. While things were different for a period of time, the love and stability that existed within the family remained the same. This meticulous communication was established with the intention of safeguarding Louis's innocence, while also providing him with an awareness of the issue that is suitable for his age. It eliminated the uncertainty and dread that often result from whispered talks and tensions that are not talked about, and instead fostered an atmosphere in which inquiries were welcomed and comfort was quickly provided. The role that Prince Louis plays at home is a source of joy. The Prince of Wales, with his customary ebullience, emerged as an unsuspecting source of light and comedy in the midst of the silent anxiety that had fallen over the Wales family. It has been expressed by Prince William that laughing plays an important part in their family, and with Louis around there is never a lack of it. His mischievous antics, which have won the hearts of millions of people throughout his public appearances, turned out to be an indispensable comfort for the family at the most difficult times of their lives. Louis's contagious vitality served as a much-needed counterweight to the severity of the situation, whether it was via the telling of jokes at the dinner table, the proud display of a new painting that he had created for his mother, or the orchestration of creative activities in the garden. This unself-conscious joy has meant everything, William has said. On days that seemed silent and heavy, Louis's lively temperament could coax smiles back onto his parents' cheeks, acting as a strong reminder of life's timeless basic joys. William has acknowledged that this joy has meant everything. This ghost has not been restricted to the confines of the house. The instructors at Lambrook School, where all 3 of the Wales children are enrolled, have said that Prince Louis continues to be a bundle of energy and curiosity. His passion for gaming, his curiosity with the natural world, and his enjoyment of being outside are some of the things that have made him famous. The Princess of Wales recently joked that she finds conkers everywhere, including in drawers, behind pillows, and even in his bed. This specific obsession of his for collecting conkers, sometimes known as horse chestnuts, has become a wonderful family legend. It is said that he would put them onto his toy vehicles and proudly parade them about the garden, completely converting an ordinary seasonal discovery into a spectacular adventure. This enthusiasm for the outdoors and simple play is more than simply a kid pleasure. It has become a symbol of the family's ability to persevere through difficult times. This serves as a reminder that even in the midst of challenging circumstances, life continues to unfold in ways that are beautiful, reassuring, and tiny. These are the anchors of normalcy that his parents have so carefully kept for him. The rustling of leaves, the finding of a perfect conker, and the freedom of running across a field are all examples of these anchors. Every member of the family has been leaning on each other more than ever before behind closed doors. Considering that the princess is concentrating on her health and the king is going through his own treatment, spending time with the family has taken on a new and more significant significance. In an effort to be more present, Prince William reduced the number of public responsibilities he was responsible for. He often spent nights assisting youngsters with their schoolwork, making modest meals, or watching movies with them. These everyday occurrences, which are devoid of the pomp and etiquette that are associated with royal life, have evolved into invaluable foundations of stability. With their assistance, Louis's life has regained its sense of stability and predictability. Nevertheless, the emotional development that can be seen in the young prince is arguably the most astonishing thing that can be witnessed. Even though he is still young, he has already shown that he is developing a growing awareness of compassion and thoughtfulness. Based on information obtained from sources close to the family, it has been reported that Louis often creates handcrafted cards and little drawings for both his mother and his grandpa, King Charles, in the hope of comforting them. A profound level of empathy is shown by these seemingly little actions, which tell volumes about the principles that are being inculcated in him. As a result of his own personal experiences, he is gaining an understanding that the concept of family entails sticking together, providing solace, and maintaining hope. An invitation and a principled stance are extended to the prince of the public. Even if the Wales family wanted to maintain their seclusion, the public's fondness for Prince Louis remained as great as it had been in the past. Royal observers are anxiously anticipating his presence in order to get a taste of his cheeky charm, because of his energetic attitude, which has earned him a solid favorite among royal watchers. It was this passion that resulted in an unexpected and beautiful act that highlighted the special position that he has in the hearts of the country. There was a peculiar letter that was sent to Adelaide Cottage a few weeks ago. The message came from the individuals who are responsible for organizing the World Conquer Championships, which is a uniquely British competition that takes place every year in Northamptonshire and generates funds for organizations that assist people who are visually impaired. Hearing about Prince Louis's well-documented passion for collecting conquers, the organizers offered a wonderful invitation. They inquired as to whether or not the young prince would be willing to consider becoming an honorary patron for their cause. In addition to being sweet and sincere, the offer also had a deeper meaning. The fact that a public organization attempted to reach out to a royal child who was only 6 years old with such a formal invitation demonstrated how profoundly he had caught the imagination of the general people. It was a recognition of his growing public image, as well as an acknowledgement of his capacity to attract attention to a cause that is deserving of it. The answer from the palace, on the other hand, was a shining example of how the Waleses carefully calibrate their attitude to their children's public duties. They graciously denied the offer in a response that was both funny and stern. They explained with a light touch that Prince Louis was now concentrating on his studies, which is a brilliant pun on the phrase concentrating. The message, which rapidly went viral, was praised for its comedy and kindness, prompting many others to share it. The friendly and down-to-earth character of the family was wonderfully represented by it. There was, however, a more significant message hidden under the beautiful wordplay. It was a reaffirmation of the border that William and Catherine had created around the lives of their children, which is one that is quiet but fiercely maintained. The parents have made it quite apparent that for the time being, the world of their youngest kid should continue to be limited and straightforward, with the primary focus being on education, play, and family. In spite of the fact that the offer of patronage was a privilege, they are of the opinion that Louis should not be in a hurry to start taking on the responsibilities that would eventually become a part of his life. Not yet, but his moment will come in due course. Even for a prince's infancy is a holy and ephemeral time that must be kept, and this choice underscores a fundamental element of their parenting philosophy. Childhood is a stage that must be preserved. They are resolute in their commitment to provide Louis with the blessing of a typical childhood, free from the challenges posed by the expectations of the general public for as long as feasible. This means that even if he is not yet taking on formal tasks, he is already learning the core of royal service via the virtues that his parents display on a daily basis. These qualities include compassion, empathy, and a feeling of obligation to others, which are not articulated in titles but rather in the heart. The Wales Way. a unique model for the parenting of royal children. The method in which Prince William and Princess Catherine are bringing up their children is a deliberate and major break from the traditional practices of the royal family. The strategy that they take is a meticulously crafted plan for a royal childhood in the 21st century, one that is founded on emotional intelligence seclusion and a connection to the real world. They have a rigorous no mobile phones rule for the youngsters, which is possibly the greatest example of this contemporary ideology being put into practice. During a meeting with actor Eugene Levy, Prince William disclosed this information. He said that he and Catherine want their children to have the opportunity to experience life and family connection without the influence of a screen. Given the prevalence of digital technology in today's world, this choice makes a strong statement about the priorities they hold. A level of presence and connection that is becoming more uncommon is fostered as a result of this practice, which guarantees that nights are reserved for family meals, discussion, and activities that are shared. William and Catherine are both familiar with the damaging impact of severe public scrutiny from their own personal experiences. William, in particular, was able to see how the unrelenting pressure from the media had a role in the dissolution of his parents' marriage and the terrible agony endured by his mother, Diana, Princess of Wales. His vow to shield his own children from a destiny similar to that of his own children was fueled by the lasting impact that those formative events left on him. One of the strategic decisions that was made in this continuous endeavor was to relocate from Kensington Palace in London to Adelaide Cottage on the Windsor estate, which is located in a very isolated location. There is less noise in Windsor, which gives the youngsters the opportunity to ride their bikes, play in the gardens, and go to school with a degree of obscurity that is impossible in the capital. The relocation was not just a change in geographical distance, but also a change in psychological refuge. It is important to strike a balance between this protective drive and a dedication to the development of healthy and caring persons. Both William and Catherine are well known for being very involved parents. It is no longer a fresh idea to imagine a future king performing the school run or attending a conference between parents and teachers. Rather, it is a reflection of William's profound interest in the matters at hand. In former generations, royal children were often reared mostly by nannies and governesses, and they only saw their parents at predetermined periods. This stands in sharp contrast to the situation prevailing in the present day. In order to provide their children with a foundation of love and support that is both consistent and unconditional, the Waleses have made the decision to be the primary figures in their children's experiences on a daily basis. The job that they do in public service also has a significant impact on their parenting. The Shaping Us campaign, which is being led by Princess Catherine and emphasizes the crucial necessity of early infant development, is not only a professional undertaking, it is also the intellectual and emotional framework that she utilizes for her own parenting. She has been a strong advocate for the concept that the first 5 years of a person's existence are crucial in establishing the basis for future mental and physical well-being. She also puts her words into action by putting an emphasis on free emotional expression, creative play, and outdoor physical activity. At the same time, Prince William's long-standing engagement for causes such as mental health, homelessness, and anti-bullying efforts serves as a source of inspiration for the ideals that he instills in his children. His statement that he would provide his children with his whole love and support in the event that any of his children were to come out as homosexual was one of the most poignant interviews he has ever given. His only worry, he said, would be the potential biases and pressures from the outside world that they would encounter. A parent whose main objective is not to produce ideal royals, but rather to develop excellent, caring, and resilient human beings, was highlighted by this sincere remark, which struck a deep chord with the general public. This philosophy is put into action via the performance of seemingly little acts of generosity. with the purpose of teaching them the core lesson of service, which is that everyone, regardless of their circumstances, deserves dignity and respect. The children have been brought on low-key trips to community centers and food banks. These visits have not been made for the purpose of gathering photographs. This is a direct continuation of the tradition that Princess Diana left behind. She is renowned for taking her boys to meet people who were homeless and AIDS sufferers. She was anxious for them to know the world that existed outside the palace gates. The torch is now being passed on to George, Charlotte, and Louis by William, who is teaching them that compassion is the essence of genuine kingship. An alternative perspective on the spare. What the future holds for Prince Louis. As Prince Louis continues to mature, the potential role that he may play in the future within the monarchy is becoming an increasingly intriguing topic of discussion. Following in the footsteps of his father and his brother Prince George, he is the third person in the line of succession. It has been shown throughout history that the role of the spare may be a challenging one, since it is characterized by a lack of clearly defined purpose and the possibility of conflict on both a personal and a public level. A cautionary tale of the difficulties that come with being born into a straight line of succession, but without the ultimate destiny of the throne, is provided by the lives of Princess Margaret, Prince Andrew, and more recently, Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex. These individuals' lives serve as examples of the difficulties that exist. All indications, on the other hand, point to the fact that the Prince and Princess of Wales are actively working on writing a new tale for their younger children. It would appear that they are working to cultivate a new model in which royal status does not prevent individuals from achieving personal or professional fulfillment outside of the traditional confines of the firm. It is highly probable that Princess Charlotte and Prince Louis will be encouraged to pursue their own careers and interests, thereby combining a life of personal ambition with part-time royal duties. This hybrid strategy, which has already been seen with cousins like Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie, would enable them to contribute to the monarchy while simultaneously creating lives of their own, so avoiding the gilded cage problem that has afflicted spares in the past. The 80-year anniversary commemoration of D-Day provided an insight into Prince Louis's developing comprehension of his one-of-a-kind status. This was on exhibit throughout the event. Louis astonished many people with his grave and collected manner, despite the fact that he was known for his tendency to squirm and make funny expressions at previous formal occasions, such as trooping the color. As he calmly observed the ceremony while standing next to his family, he gave off the impression of being attentive and sincerely reverent. It was recorded on camera that he assumed the same position as his father and periodically looked up at him as if he was analyzing the ritual and taking in the significance of the event. One may say that this was a subtle turning point for many onlookers. It was an indication that the youngest kid in Wales is starting to develop an understanding of the dual nature of his existence, which consists of the private world of a boy who enjoys having fun and the public world of princely responsibilities. The effectiveness of his parents' instruction, which taught him when to be fun and when to be poised, was mirrored in his demeanor. Nevertheless, even at that moment of maturity, his inherent friendliness shined through. As the event came to a close, he was seen breaking into a broad grin, engaging in active conversation with veterans, and giving cheery waves to the audience. It is possible that his capacity to smoothly flip between formal elegance and youthful enthusiasm may become his distinguishing quality and a key advantage to the monarchy. In a time when authenticity and relatability are highly valued, Prince Louis's vibrant personality is not a flaw that has to be cured. Rather, it is a characteristic that lends a sense of humanity to the institution. He establishes an emotional connection with the general public, bringing to their attention the fact that concealed behind the titles and traditions are genuine individuals and a devoted family. He does not have a destiny that is predetermined in the same manner that his sibling does. In the meanwhile, George is being gradually readied for the throne, whereas Louis's path is more open to change. It's possible that he would pursue a career in a subject that is completely unrelated to royal life, such as becoming a patron of the arts, a champion for environmental concerns, or even a champion for environmental problems inspired by his father and grandparents. This foundation that his parents are establishing for him, one that is characterized by emotional comfort, strong values, and the freedom to be himself, is intended to prepare him for whatever route he chooses to pursue. In conclusion, a tale of optimism and progress in modernization. The story that has been told about Prince Louis over this difficult year is not even close to being the devastating update that some people have claimed it is. In actuality, it is a narrative that is both profoundly affecting and uplifting. It is the tale of a little boy's unyielding spirit that shines a light on his family at a difficult moment in their lives. It is the tale of two parents who are able to respond gracefully to enormous amounts of pressure while putting their children's health and happiness ahead of everything else. In addition, it is the tale of a monarchy that is gradually transforming itself, building the foundation for a future that is more compassionate, more grounded, and more in sync with the contemporary world. Despite the fact that he has a conquer collection, homemade cards, and a smile that is contagious, Prince Louis is more than simply a representation of the allure of a royal upbringing. The hope that a new generation of royals would be brought up with a good mix of duty and normalcy of public service and private delight is represented by him. It is through the attentive and protective supervision of his parents that he is gaining the understanding that the titles that are most significant to him are not Prince or Your Royal Highness, but rather son, brother, and a responsible human being. The whole world will continue to keep a close eye on him as he develops, but for the time being, his most essential duty is to just be a kid, which he is doing with brilliance that is both touching and brilliant. Thank you for watching the video. Please let us know your thoughts and goodbye for now.